Welcome to the deep dive. So, we've got a really interesting set of materials this time, all pointing to this concept called AI 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like we're not just talking about, small updates to things like ChatGPT.
No, not at all.
It sounds much bigger, like a real fundamental change in what AI can actually do.
That's exactly right. Looking through what you sent, the big theme is moving past what some folks are calling AI 1.0.
Right, the chatbots, the image generators, we kind of know now.
Yeah, they're really good at specific narrow tasks, super capable within those limits.
But reactive, right? That came up a few times.
Definitely reactive. This next step, AI 2.0, it's about, well, true understanding, creation in new ways, perception, even surprise.
Okay, understanding. That sounds like a key difference. One thing that kept coming up was artificial general intelligence, AGI.
Yes, AGI. That's central to this whole AI 2.0 idea.
So for someone maybe not deep in this stuff, what's the main takeaway? How is AGI different?
Well, think about it like this. Current AI is trained for one specific job. AGI, based on the definitions in your sources, is about systems that can, reason, learn, adapt across lots of different tasks, kind of like humans do.
So it wouldn't need retraining from scratch for every new thing.
Exactly. The promise is it could learn a skill, maybe in, say, language, and then apply that learning logic to a totally different problem, maybe visual analysis or something.
Ah, okay. So less like a specialist, more like a generalist.
Yeah.
I saw this analogy in one piece you sent. Current AI as a smart intern, great at tasks you give them.
I remember that one.
But AGI as like a teammate who could actually run the company, strategize, learn on the fly. That kind of clicked for me.
That's a really good way to put it, yeah. It captures that leap in capability and autonomy.
And there's some big names pushing for this.
Oh, absolutely. It's a major race. You've got OpenAI, obviously, with their whole mission statement about AGI benefiting humanity.
Right.
But also DeepMind, Anthropic, Meta, Google, they're all pouring, huge resources into this. The investment levels alone tell you how seriously they're taking it.
Makes sense. So AGI is one huge piece, but another term that was all over the materials was multimodal AI. What's that about?
Right, multimodal. This is where it gets really fascinating, especially when you think about how we experience the world.
How so?
Well, we don't just see or just hear or just read text, do we?
No, it's all mixed together.
Exactly. Sight, sound, language, it all blends seamlessly into our understanding. Current AI, though, it mostly works in silos. Text models do text, image models do images.
Okay, so they're missing the connections between different kinds of information.
Precisely. Multimodal AI aims to break down those walls. Imagine an AI looking at a photo.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying cat, tree, it could maybe grasp the mood. Is it a happy photo, a sad one? Maybe even generate a little backstory for what's happening.
Wow.
Or detect subtle things like anomalies in a medical scan that a person might overlook initially. It's connecting vision with, let's say, contextual understanding or learned medical knowledge.
It's a big step up. What about video or audio? Those seem even more complex.
For sure. The potential there is huge, too. A multimodal AI watching a video clip, it could understand not just what's happening, but maybe pick up on sarcasm.
Oh, by looking at faces and listening to tone, as well as the words.
Exactly. Combining those inputs. Or it could, maybe even write a plausible next scene for a movie, understanding the characters and plot.
And audio, responding to voice.
Yeah, imagine talking to an AI, and it doesn't just understand your words, but it gets the emotion in your voice, responding with empathy, not just facts. That requires linking audio cues to, emotional intelligence, essentially.
It feels much closer to, human intuition, almost. Is this actually happening now? Are there models doing this?
Yes, absolutely. This isn't just theory. We're seeing the first steps. GPT-4 with vision is a big one.
Right, where you can show it pictures.
Yeah. And Google's Gemini models are built to be multimodal from the ground up. Meta has things like ImageBind. They're early examples, but they show the direction things are headed. It's about integrating these senses.
You mentioned a scenario earlier from the readings about how this might work in, like, a home setting. Could you walk through that again? It really helped me picture it.
Sure. So imagine an AI assistant in your home. It's not just waiting for you to talk to it.
Okay.
Maybe it sees you frowning at your screen via a camera. It knows from your calendar that you're overloaded with meetings. It hears the stress in your voice when you're on a call. So combining all that visual cues, calendar data, audio tone, it doesn't wait for you to complain. It proactively steps in.
Like what? What would it do?
Well, maybe it suggests rescheduling a non-urgent meeting, Offers to draft a couple of standard email replies for you, asks if you want to order your usual takeout because you seem stressed. It might even subtly dim the lights, put on some calming music, maybe even crack a joke it knows you liked before based on past interactions.
That's pretty different. It's not just responding to a command.
Exactly. It's using that multimodal understanding to perceive your state and anticipate your needs. It's awareness, powered by integrating all these different data streams. Not magic, just better synthesis of information.
It really paints a picture of how different interacting with AI could become. Now, obviously, this kind of power raises some big questions, doesn't it? The ethics side of things.
Oh, absolutely. That's unavoidable. With great power, as they say.
Comes great responsibility, yeah.
Yeah.
The materials definitely flagged some major ethical challenges. What were the key ones?
Well, 4 big areas kept coming up. First, bias and fairness.
Because the AI learns from our data, which is already biased.
Precisely. These systems learn from the vast amounts of text and images online, and that data reflects, well, all of humanity's existing biases: racism, sexism, social stereotypes.
And the AI could just amplify those?
It could, yeah. Or embed them so deeply they're hard to root out. So the questions become, how do we audit for bias? How do we fix it? And, crucially, who gets to decide what fair even looks like in an AI's output? It's tricky.
Definitely tricky. What was the second one? Yeah.
Deepfakes and misinformation.
Yeah. If AI can create realistic images and video, and now understand context and generate convincing text and audio.
It gets much, much harder to tell what's real. Imagine perfectly faked video of a politician saying something they never said right before an election.
Or voice scams that sound exactly like a loved one.
Exactly. How do we protect truth and trust when synthetic media becomes indistinguishable from reality? That's a huge societal challenge.
Okay, bias, deep fakes. What else?
Jobs and automation. This is the one a lot of people think about.
And it's not just factory jobs anymore, is it?
No, AI 1.0 already impacts things like customer service or basic content creation, but AI 2.0, with its reasoning and cross-domain abilities, it starts to look capable of tasks in fields like law, coding, marketing, even parts of medicine.
White-collar jobs.
Yeah, potentially. So are we ready for that scale of disruption? How do societies adapt? What does retraining even look like when the ground is shifting so fast?
Big questions with no easy answers. And the fourth ethical challenge.
Control. Simply put, who builds these incredibly powerful AGI systems?
It could be big tech companies, governments, maybe open source communities.
That's the question. And whoever builds them, who decides their goals, their ethical guidelines? What happens if or when AGI surpasses human intelligence in most areas? How do we ensure it remains aligned with human values, whatever those are? How do we even maintain control?
That sounds like the biggest question of all, really. The ultimate control problem.
It is. It's fundamental.
So given all these challenges, what about regulation? Are governments trying to get ahead of this?
They're trying, definitely. We're seeing moves like the EU's AI Act, which tries to categorize AI by risk level.
Okay.
The U.S. has proposed strategies. There are ongoing discussions. India has called for responsible development frameworks. But, well, the technology is moving incredibly fast.
Faster than the regulators can keep up.
It often feels that way, yeah. It's this constant tightrope walk, isn't it? You want to encourage innovation and progress, but you also need guardrails for safety, fairness, and accountability. Finding that balance when the tech itself is evolving so rapidly is difficult.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a global challenge, too. Needs coordination.
Absolutely. AI doesn't really respect borders.
Okay, so we've talked about the shift to AI 2.0, multimodal capabilities, the ethical tightrope. Let's switch gears a bit towards the end here. What about the exciting stuff? Beyond better chatbots or art, what are some of the really transformative applications we might see?
Right. The positive potential is enormous. Your sources pointed to several really compelling areas. Think about personal health, for instance.
Okay.
Imagine an AI that constantly passively monitors your vital signs through wearables, maybe analyzes your diet from photos of your meals, looks at your genetic data, even gauges mental well-being from your digital interactions.
A lot of data points.
A huge amount. And it synthesizes all of that to create truly personalized health plans. Not generic advice, but specific recommendations for you to optimize health and maybe even add healthy years to your life.
That sounds amazing, like a super personalized wellness coach.
Exactly. Then there's science. Think AI scientists.
What would they do?
They could read and synthesize millions of research papers, analyze massive data sets from experiments, looking for patterns humans would miss. This could dramatically accelerate discoveries in drug development, climate modeling, material science, even economic theory.
Speeding up progress across the board.
Potentially, yes. And education, too.
How so?
AI tutors that adapt perfectly to each child's learning style and pace, identifying exactly where a student is struggling and providing tailored explanations or exercises. Imagine closing achievement gaps because every child gets personalized support.
That could be revolutionary for education equity.
It really could. And then there are some more ambitious ideas,
Yeah.
like AI negotiators.
For things like peace deals.
Yeah. Analyzing incredibly complex geopolitical situations, running simulations of different negotiation strategies, maybe finding non-obvious pathways to resolving conflicts that human biases or limited processing power might miss.
That's optimistic but fascinating.
It is speculative,
Yeah.
but it shows the potential scale of thinking. And finally, companion AIs.
For loneliness.
Yeah,
Elderly care.
exactly. Addressing mental health needs, providing companionship, assisting the elderly. AIs capable of deep understanding and empathetic interaction could make a real difference in quality of life for many people.
So these applications, they feel pretty significant. And you mentioned earlier, the timeline isn't necessarily decades away.
No. Based on the trends highlighted in the materials, we're likely looking at the next, say, 5 to 10 years for many of these kinds of AI 2.0 applications to start becoming real and making an impact. It's relatively near term.
Wow. Okay. So wrapping this up, this deep dive into AI 2.0, it's been eye-opening. From AGI to multimodal understanding, the ethical minefields, the regulations trying to catch up, and these incredible future possibilities.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is. And it leaves me thinking, the big question isn't just, can we build this, but, well, are we ready?
Ready in what sense? Technologically.
Not just technologically. Are we, as people, as societies, ready? Emotionally, socially, maybe even spiritually. This technology seems poised to test our values, challenge our assumptions about work, creativity, intelligence, even what it means to be human.
That's a profound point. It's like building these intelligent machines holds up a mirror to ourselves, doesn't it?
Yeah, it forces us to think about who we are and what we want our future to look like.
And maybe the future isn't just about smarter algorithms, but also about wiser humans using them.
That's a great thought to end on. This future's coming fast, and understanding it, like we've tried to do in this deep dive today, feels more important than ever.
Absolutely.
So thanks for walking through this with me. And for everyone listening, if you found this as thought-provoking as I did, maybe share it. The more people understand what's coming with AI 2.0, the better chance we have of shaping it constructively.